He's back again. BMW is bringing the roof scooter back and they're showing the new Vision CE. What we know about it in this video. Don't let anyone say the Germans don't have a sense of humor, because in plenty of pictures and in a surprisingly funny video, BMW shows off the new roof scooter that will be presented next week at the IAA in Munich. And yes, as already mentioned, it's a scooter with a roll bar inside. And if you know BMW and look back a bit into the past, you'll know this isn't the first time they've tried this. In fact, it's even mentioned in the new Vision CE video, although with a touch of embarrassment. As if BMW wasn't too proud of what they brought out in the year 2000, namely the BMW C1. That was the first scooter to come onto the market with a roof, a windscreen, a wiper, and as the big highlight, even seatbelts. That meant you could actually ride this scooter legally without a helmet. That was the USP of this scooter at the time. BMW wanted to launch it by saying, I want to appeal to car drivers who want to get through the city more quickly, but don't want to lose the comforts of a car. Buckle up, don't put on a helmet, and off you go. The C1, it has to be said, didn't go down well on the market back then. It was too heavy for motorcyclists, too complicated for car drivers, and it wasn't cheap either. On top of that, the handling was very top-heavy and not as nimble as you'd expect from a scooter. In short, the C1 was actually a flop, which I personally think is a real shame because the concept did have a lot going for it. Safety, for one thing. That roll bar from BMW was designed to be genuinely safe. They carried out crash tests back then, sending the scooter into a car and the car into the scooter to show that the C1's frame was solid and safe. The front suspension was also interesting because you could extend the main stand and lift the front wheel while still sitting in the saddle without having to get off to use the stand. That was pretty innovative. You could get it in two engine capacities, 125 cubic centimeters and 200 cubic centimeters. At one point, BMW even brought out a limited Williams edition, back when BMW was still in Formula One. When Formula One cars still sounded like proper race cars, they really gave the world the middle finger by saying, look here, we've got the C1 scooter in Williams livery, complete with photos alongside the Formula One car. A dream really. But it didn't help because the C1 was unfortunately a failure. It also didn't help that the passenger didn't sit within the frame, but outside of it. And all that just didn't go down well with customers, so the C1 was only built for a short time, and nowadays it's becoming more of a cult scooter year after year. Prices are climbing again, and well-kept examples already cost proper money. And on YouTube, you can see the hype anyway. Whenever some motovlogger buys one and goes on a trip with it, the clicks just keep rolling in. So now BMW is trying to ride that wave and bring this concept back with the Vision CE. And one thing should be made clear right away, as BMW stressed in the press release. This is a concept bike, not a production-ready prototype. So no one knows where this is going to end up, but they're showing what they've got. The main focus here is what they call the cage, that tubular metal frame wrapped around the scooter. And once again, there's a seat setup with two seat belts. So theoretically, it should again be possible to ride this scooter without a helmet, but whether that will actually happen in reality, if the scooter ever makes it to production, well, that's impossible to say right now. What else stands out is that, unlike the C1, there's no windscreen as standard. In some of the other photos, you can see there's meant to be a wind deflector available as an accessory, but BMW is still in a very experimental phase with this whole concept. They're showing you could strap a Christmas tree on it, mount a boombox at the back, use it for work, or even put a coffee machine on it. BMW is experimenting a bit with the idea, just to show what might be possible in the future with a scooter like this. The basic setup itself is already tried and tested, because even though it draws inspiration from BMW's current electric scooters, the CE02 and the CE04, the basic structure with the motor and battery inside looks very much like the BMW CE04, which we've already tested. I was at the presentation. You can find our test video on our channel. So the technology behind it should actually work. It's proven. Looking back even further, BMW's first electric scooter was the C-Evolution in 2014. Before that, in 2009, they had already designed a C1 electric prototype, but it never made it to production. The C-Evolution was then the first actual electric scooter, followed by the CE04 in 2022. And now, with the Vision CE, BMW wants to push this idea further into the future, with different concept versions for work, for the beach, for adventures, whatever. Very interestingly, BMW also says that this scooter is meant to have automatic self-balancing. They don't explain how exactly it works, but in the video, you see the scooter standing still and then moving slightly forward to balance itself. That it's technically possible has already been shown by other manufacturers. Honda, for instance, demonstrated it years ago on a motorbike that would simply follow its rider and stop by itself. So technically it can be done. But how it will be implemented, no one has actually explained yet, and BMW isn't any clearer about it either. So yes, it's supposed to be possible, but we don't know how. That's all we know for now about the BMW Vision CE. It's an electric concept from BMW that will be presented to the public for the first time next week at the IAA in Munich. It's a roof scooter, and BMW has already shown once that such a thing might not work. But at the same time, you can see in other markets that it does work. If you look at Southern Europe or Asia, there are plenty of compact scooters with roofs. And those are mostly used by people who need them for work, delivery riders, repair services who need to get through the city, people who just want a quick, compact, nimble vehicle that they can ride in any weather. Another possible use I could imagine for the Vision CE is the police. After all, the BMW CE04 is already in service with various police forces, especially in Southern Europe. I've even seen some myself on the streets in Spain. Believe it or not, but even services like the police or emergency response have to meet environmental targets, which means cutting CO2 emissions from their fleets. What do? They buy electric bikes or scooters for urban patrols. And that's where I could see the Vision CE fitting in as well, because nothing would be better for a police officer than being able to ride through town on a scooter and still stay dry. And with that cage frame, they'd probably have a bit more protection too, and could even mount some police gear onto it. But as you can tell, there's a lot of what ifs here. Unfortunately, we don't know more yet. I really hope BMW does bring out the Vision CE, because I've got a C1 right in front of me now, and I still think it looks timeless. I think it was ahead of its time, and I'd really like BMW to finally have success with such a concept, this time with the Vision CE. Maybe we'll learn more in the next few weeks, maybe only at the EICMA. Whether it will ever reach production, we'll have to see, but that's all the info for now. If you check out our website, the link is down in the description, you'll find all the pictures there. And of course, I'd be curious to hear what you think about this concept. Are you as excited as I am? Do you think the C1 is as cool as I do? And do you want to see BMW bring this back on the road? Then leave your thoughts in the comments. We're sure BMW is reading along. So your opinion in the comments. And stick with us, subscribe to the channel for more tests and new releases, especially now at the end of the year when all the new models are being revealed. You won't want to miss a thing, so stay tuned. And until then, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.